Hello, hello. Dr. Angelika Christie here, your host of the show, Your Radiant Life After 45. It's a show for women who want more from life, according to their radiant health, incredible relationships, fulfillment in the second part of their life, their spirituality, abundance, and so much more. I'm a naturopathic doctor and a relationship coach, and also a Reiki master teacher for over 28 years. And it is my absolute desire to have women over 45 really enjoy the part of their life that really guides them to their freedom years. Yes? So if you like what I share with you, be here with me every Saturday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Okay, so in today's episode, I want to talk about the fear of aging. I know that fear of aging is something that usually doesn't start when we are in our 30s, maybe not even 40s. But as soon as menopause kicks in, we get a little bit of a wake-up call that our bodies are changing and that the aging process is marching forward without our consent, but there's nothing we can do about it, right? There are many aspects of the fear of aging. I want to talk about 5 of them. I don't think we have time for all 5 of them today, but maybe 3 of them. The fear of the unknown is one of them. The fear of disease, the fear of loneliness, the fear of recreating yourself. Yes, that takes courage, imagination, and of course, the fear of death. Let us explore these points. The fear of the unknown, that's how we are going to start. When we are young, we are filled with the excitement of the life we envision, right? And we want to create for ourselves. We feel kind of invincible and ready to face the challenges as they present themselves. We are mostly driven by the ego to achieve the best life according to what we really desire, but also according to our environment, our training, our capabilities. So we are busy exploring and experiencing, and really we have little time for reflection. That comes later. So now that you have raised, since you are here with my show, I assume that you are 45 and over. So maybe you have already raised your children. Maybe you struggle with balancing family and work, or even you are still running a small business, or even the very demanding enterprise of your household and family life. Yes, I believe that is a very challenging enterprise. But there comes a time when everything changes. Your direct involvement and the role you played in your children's upbringing, if you have children, they start to fade. Now, the focus returns to you. And you may ask yourself, what is my life really all about? Who am I? You may feel that time has passed by too quickly already, and you have not spent enough time discovering yourself. And let me tell you, I am 76, and time seems to pass even faster. It goes faster as you get older. But it feels that the older you get, the faster time seems to race past you. You may already find that to be the truth. The future may seem unclear and maybe uncertain. Bodily changes and discomfort rise. They show up in your body, which feels like a robber taking away your energy and youthful appearance. You have a hard time maybe visualizing or even accepting that getting older can be looked forward to in a positive way. The fear arises from a feeling of losing control. And yes, we do not have control over the aging process. And that feels a little bit unnerving, I know. You know, or you want to know what the future holds, right? But you cannot know what the future holds. There may be regret in your life and disappointment and lack of purpose that really may be in the past. And if you carry this forward, it can lead to a downward spiral into anxiety, angst, and even depression. Don't do that. Don't go there. It doesn't have to be that way. As much as you experience certainty and purpose and a clear path to fulfilling your plan as maybe a parent, if you are a parent, the mother, the partner to your husband, as maybe a successful and active creator of your desires in all areas of your complex life. May that be in whatever you do. It doesn't have to be a business, but if it is a business, then yes, all of those are complex during your middle ages. And then comes the time to surrender to even bigger change. Surrendering does not mean resigning. On the contrary, the unknown in your later years is like a clean canvas on which you can design your life anew with the same tenacity you had all through your life. Do you remember when you were a child, the tenacity you had, the creativity, all of the incredible things you were dreaming up and created? There is a cycle in older age that seems to mirror that of your early youth. Although the physical body withers a bit, but now, as you get older, you enjoy similar freedom from when you were young, like freedom from so many responsibilities. They're lessened. You have more time for yourself. The question is how you want to live through those freshly gained freedom years. Maybe you're not quite there yet, but you have to start planning for it. Yes, imagining it and putting down some ideas. Rather than lamenting about what was lost or could have been and was not, you now have a brand new canvas to paint your most desirable vision of yourself in your most vivid and beautiful colors. The colors, the vision, the activities, the dreams of the second part of your life. The unknown is not your enemy, but actually your friend and also your teacher. It is like when you were young and you did not know what life could present to you, what life would present to you. We never know this at any age or in any cycle of our life. We always have to have a beginner's mind. But when you were young, you were fearless and open to learning while experiencing life without resistance. Every new experience actually brings a deeper understanding of life. And your soul's agenda, if you choose to start the inner journey of discovery, your soul's agenda is fantastic and is so fulfilling when you start the journey within. You can clearly see that the unknown holds the perfect open space in which all possibilities exist. With your seasoned wisdom that you have developed throughout the decades and an open heart, you can actually surrender to and embrace the unknown as an opportunity to consciously create the highest, the truest, and most powerful version of who you really are and who you want to become and who you are becoming. Yes? Wonderful. Okay, so that was the unknown. The second is the fear of disease. As our bodies age biologically, certain changes are inevitable. We have a tendency to focus more on what we see on the outer appearance and judge and lament about it. Yes, fine lines and wrinkles in the face, sagging skin around the neck. Yes, I have that too. Around the neck, maybe your upper legs, brown and white spot increasing on your face, your arms, your legs. I have lots of them because I live in the Bahamas, even though I'm originally from Germany. So since I love the sun and have not been very good with protecting it, in my early 30s and 40s, I started to protect it in my 50s, but your body doesn't forget anything. My skin did not forget that I didn't protect it for decades. And I see the damage. There's nothing I can do about it. But not lament about it and feel that it's unacceptable. It is what it is. It is really, those are really just a few complaints regarding our vanity and desire to look much younger than our age actually is. Pure vanity, yes, to a degree. But yes, it is vanity, but not exclusively. Because how your skin looks when you are in your midlife or in your older years depends on mostly 4 factors. First of all, what race you were born into. When I see, I live in the Bahamas, and when I see the beautiful brown skin of Bahamians, flawless, they may be in their 60s, in their 70s, and they are still flawless, not wrinkled. That's the gift of their race. I am Northern European. My skin wrinkles and has spots. Anyway, how much your skin was exposed to direct sunlight, right? From early on, that's me. But also how healthy is your diet, your entire lifestyle? So you have some effect, or you can affect not only your skin, but how you age. Because poor lifestyles and neglect in your earlier years will show up at some later time. I know it. You can believe me. If you're in your 40s now, please know that nothing gets, you think you still can do a lot of things and your body does not show up, does not show the damage. It will not, but it will do it later. Because your body never forgets. Not that it viciously tries to punish you, but every cell in your body receives and stores memory at all times. You may think that with new cell growth, you have a clean slate. Unfortunately, that's not the case. You get new cells, but it is kind of a copy of the cells. And as they age, it's a copy of the older cells. Yes. The memory of older cells creates the blueprint for the next generation of cells and the next and so on. If the damage is not too severe yet, you have a chance to modify signaling within your cells for your benefit. But it also requires that you stop what creates the problem in the first place. Like I had to stop being in the sun all day, and especially without protection, right? So I believe that fear of disease stems from basically 2 thought paths. Either You know that what you do is unhealthy, and you could end in ill health. Or you believe that disease is inevitable because you have experienced it, watching it in your family, and you have seen the afflictions amongst your friends as well. Another fear-induced path comes from the powerful advertising, especially by pharmaceutical companies who want to sell their drugs to you. And whenever you see an advertisement, you somehow, don't you ask yourself, oh my God, do I have that? Or do I get this? And these advertisements are just becoming more and more and more. It's crazy. I don't think they have its place in, between TV shows and all of this, but it is what it is. It's a big business. And so you can either turn it off or don't watch any TV or don't watch anything with commercials. We are all exposed to this kind of unconscious brainwashing, unless we live far removed, maybe in a natural, rural environment, away from televisions and other disturbing advertising through our, all kinds of devices like our iPhone or any electronic devices. So where is the evidence that a disease is a natural event of aging? Do you know something? We all believe this, but there is no evidence of this at all. There is none. Why? Because you will find millions of healthy older adults as evidence that disease is not a natural or a non-avoidable part of aging. The more natural your environment, your internal and outside environment is, the better the condition in which your cells can thrive. By consciously, your cells are like miniature universes. There is a huge degree of intelligence and consciousness within every cell of your body. So the better the condition in which your cells will thrive, they can repair and renew tissues, organs, and whole body systems. So fear of disease stems from a disconnection between your body and your mind. Can you see that? If you do not feel an intrinsic relationship with your body, maybe you don't trust the wisdom and the healing power your body naturally possesses. Then consequently, your doubts and anxieties can turn into fear, which creates a vicious cycle. The power of your belief can easily overrule your cell's natural behavior. In a negative way, I'm talking about this now, because if you have a negative belief, then you're actually interfering and interrupting the natural cell's behavior, which is to be healthy and regenerate itself in a healthy way and find its equilibrium. You attract then into your experience what you expect and think of the most, which means if you always think, oh my God, I'm getting cancer or I'm getting sick, and you're always afraid of it, you're actually, unfortunately, attracting, it's not 100% certainty, but you open yourself for the possibility that your DNA will trigger those unnatural mutations. It is just a simple universal law that states like attracts like. We know this to be true from modern physics and the law of attraction. I know there are many ways in which we experience that. You want something, if you really focus and you want something, it is so much easier to manifest because everything lines up for you. specific scientific research and trials prove that this is so. One of the most fascinating research projects I saw was from a video by Greg Braden, where a strand of DNA from a person, the DNA, the strand was put in a vial, and the person was removed from it a couple of 100 miles away. So the person from which that strand of DNA was, and the actual DNA strand were hundreds of miles apart. Then the person was asked to go into different mental and emotional states. Do you know what happened? Unbelievably, the DNA from that same person that was 100 miles away still responded to the mental and emotional state of its owner. Which means, I mean, this was a scientific project, but you could see even with your physical eyes how the DNA, the strand, contracted when the person hundreds of miles away put herself into a emotional and mental stress situation. The DNA contracted. And when the person put herself into a very relaxed, beautiful state, the strand relaxed and expanded as well. Incredible to witness. Okay. So fear of disease could attract exactly what you are afraid of. Therefore, do you agree that letting go of fear of disease is a logical choice, a good choice, something that should be desired? You can stop the anxiety about what could happen by just asking yourself maybe a few questions, like, when you have these thoughts coming up, stop it and ask, is my thought based on a strong belief? And then ask, by whose authority do I believe this? And then ask yourself, is it really, really true? And then, will I let go of this false belief as soon as I realize that it is an illusion, a manufacturing of my mind, a fantasy? What do I get out of this when I hold on to this fear? Because, yeah, and this last point may sound really strange to you, because the thing is that sometimes we hold on to negative beliefs because there is a reason we get something from it, something out of it. The last point may sound strange, but a hidden agenda could be the magnet that keeps your false belief in place. If you have examined the other points and realized that your attraction to fantasize or worry about one or many possible diseases still persists, you may use this belief for a reason, even if you are not consciously aware of this now. It's actually called having a racket. Examination of the last point and understanding your motive for holding on to fear will give you insight into a much deeper part of your unconscious self. In my coaching and home study programs, this point always seems to meet some resistance at first, and then a joyous relief when it is understood. When you understand it, you can let go of it. In my decades of practice as a naturopath and holistic health scientist, I often found that the reason why a person did not heal or even wanted to get better, well, they always say they want to get better, but didn't get better, was that she had a racket, just a racket that justified holding on to the condition, even though a verbal statement and plea for healing was often expressed. Oh yes, I can you help me? I want to get well. But then there is this strange holding on to a condition. For example, if you receive loving attention and caring support from people, as long as you are ill, but not when you are well, nobody really cares too much. But when you are ill, you get that special attention and caring. Then subconsciously, you will fear that that attention may wane into nothingness, may go away should you get well. So disease may just be too powerful a weapon to let go of. I know even this may sound strange. Disease as a weapon? Yes, disease can be a weapon to get the attention that otherwise you believe you cannot get. And there are many other ways where you can hold on to something negative that has an underlying, maybe not an obvious, but subconscious or unconscious reason. Thoughts, feelings, and emotions are made of energy. And you have the power to decide how to use and transform even the most negative energy into a more positive one. It takes practice. Yes, it doesn't happen just like that. And if you believe it happens just like that, you may get frustrated and say it's not working. But you need to practice everything that is worth the outcome is worth the practice. When you practice, you can become a master of your creative energy and thus manifest much more of what you want to experience. Isn't that a reason big enough? Yes or yes? You and I, we know that we are energy. You and I know from quantum physics that everything is energy. But I want to make you aware of a particular stream of energy that is outside of how we usually experience the energy and how it relates to our topic here. And it's about life force energy. It's about the energy we feel inside of us. Do you feel that you either have energy or you do not have energy? And is that not precisely what seems to make it seem to be a thing? Energy, a thing? How often have you either spoken these words or repeated them silently in your mind? Oh, I have no energy. Oh, I wish I had more energy. Where is my energy? I don't feel I have any energy. These short phrases are probably one of the most frequent words I have heard from my clients and even some friends. And we seem to have resigned ourselves to the belief that we have less energy as we age. But even at a younger age, we often accept the fact that energy comes and goes randomly or predictably according to our state of health and the amount of sleep we enjoy. What if this is not necessarily so at all? Even if most of us believe that it is the truth, no matter what argument you bring to defend that you cannot do much about the lack of energy you have, let me show you, let me prove to you that it may be a wrong assumption. Okay, here I make a statement that you probably say, really? Or, well, not with me. But anyway, listen to the statement here. Your energy is inexhaustible. And it's continuously available to you at any age, as long as you are alive. Well, as long as you are alive and not seriously ill. If you are very ill, Your body's defense system may work overtime to regain equilibrium within your body system, and you may experience a lack or drain of energy on the outside because your body is so busy on the inside, right? To create that balance again. And as soon as a balance is reestablished, your energy level rises as well in response to the recovery. So the state of wellness is synonymous with feeling energy, and I may say, at any age. So when you declare, I have no energy, or I am too tired, you either are mistaken or you have made a choice to defend yourself against something you don't want to do. Yes? There may be situations where you feel that the energy is sucked right out of you. This could even happen with people. Have you felt it that some people give you energy when you are in their presence and others suck it right out of you? Yes, I call those who suck energy out of you mental or emotional vampires, because they are so needy. They need something from you. They try to suck your energy, and there are ways to put a shield around you and protect yourself from that. But these sudden events that shock your body momentarily are, once you become aware of it, you can bring your energy back quickly again, because your body naturally will come back, has the desire and is designed to come back into its equilibrium, which means into full energy. You see, this thing called energy is not a thing at all, but a chemical and energetic response toward the state of your mind and emotions. Energy is always abundant, and the lack of it is nothing but perception, which exists either consciously or unconsciously. For example, when you cut your finger, your body activates an immediate healing response. The inner wisdom of your cells decide to use energy in transporting the right enzymes, proteins, and whatever is necessary for the quickest path toward healing. It would be unimaginable for you, to even, it would be unimaginable for you to truly understand this. It's a total miracle. But it would also, can you imagine that your cells would feel too tired to heal your wound? You would bleed to death or succumb to a massive bacterial infection. When your energy runs freely through the designated pathways that nourish all organs and tissue, then health is abundant. If the pathways are obstructed, and they can be not just be obstructed physically, but even by negative thoughts and feelings made manifest as energy, then they become energy blocks, energy restrictions. Then the body suffers. Your body's healing system works energetically all the time, and it does everything to get you back and keep you in the best possible state of health. Just understand that your energy is always self-generated. It is naturally there, but then you have power over your energy by the thoughts that you think. And of course, your body also wants to be in motion. Your body is designed to move. The more you move, the more energy you generate. It's almost like a dynamo. Okay? So if it is self-generated, it is extracted from the unlimited supply of life force energy that permeates everything, that lives within you, that lives within every cell of your body, and is around you. It exists everywhere. We live on this grid. We live on this grid of energy. It exists and you are an intrinsic part of it. You are intrinsically connected to this grid as every living thing is on our planet. I know that there is also, of course, a chemical reaction in your cells that create ADP, a biochemical reaction that generates energy. And it comes from the food we eat. Therefore, it is important that you eat life and nutritious food where the life force is still intact. This is the reason why only living food with its enzymes intact can sustain fully charged cells and also provide the healthy reproduction of the next generations of healthy cells. You provide your body with what it needs, and you can trust in the awesome intelligence of your body to perform at its highest level. You see, we are sometimes so unconscious when it comes to our food. We desire certain things that our body really does not desire, but your body does not overrule you. You put food into your mouth. You pick what you want to eat. But the more conscious you become of what your body really needs in order to be at its maximum health, then you will train yourself to let go of that which actually hurts your body's health. Yeah, because you have the power and the ability to change your level of energy at any time, and even at a lightning speed. With food, it does not go at a lightning speed. It takes time to change your diet and become healthier in your food so that you get more energy from food. But when it comes to your mind, yes, when it comes to your mind, as fast as a thought can create a feeling, you can generate energy at will. And it is immediately available to you. Don't believe it? Just think of a situation that either saddens you or you feel drained. Just do that right now. Close your eyes maybe and think of a situation that really saddened you or that disappointed you and that drained you. Feel into the sensation and the related emotions that it invokes. You feel that your energy kind of contracts, drains. Okay, stop this vision now. And now I want you to have a totally different mental scene. Imagine the following situation. You just received the news of having been gifted with a large sum of money. Visualize being handed a check in the amount of $1 million. Yeah, just visualize it. You have it. What just happened to your energy level? Didn't it go up? Didn't you feel? Yes, yes. You see, you can imagine anything in your mind. It does not matter if it is real or fiction. Why? Because your body believes everything you think and imagine, and then you feel it and act on that new information instantly. Your body reacts instantly. It's like when you imagine somebody squeezes a very sour lime juice into your mouth. You really imagine this? Your mouth, like mine now, creates saliva. It's not real, but you imagined it, okay? So all these mind games that create the mind, the thought creates an emotion that is related to it, and it creates a physical reaction in your body, which is a chemical reaction in your body. Yeah. So you can feel as lonely, depressed, and sad with zero energy until your attention shifts to something desirable and you become ecstatic. Yes, the opposite is also true. If you stay in the wanting phase with the belief that you may not experience good health, and doubt and fear creep into your thoughts and into your feelings, your energy drops and may drop further and stays low. I mean, this is when depression hits. It's a very, very low state of energy. Depression means that you don't feel like doing anything. You don't feel you have the energy for anything. But as soon as you shift to receiving and enjoying what you desire and see as possible, your energy level will shoot sky high. Isn't that amazing and fabulous? Experiment with it. For yourself, it works like magic. And when you experience this and you practice it, this is how you can transform your fear into freedom in a flash. It is according to your belief that you create your experience. You create your reality, which means you create your life. Yeah. So when you do these exercises, then sometimes you may ask yourself, so where did this energy come from so quickly? Well, as I said earlier, energy is available to you at all times, and to whatever degree you allow its presence. Energy always flows. It cannot be captured or seized, but it flows freely through you to the degree to which you are flowing with it or allow it to flow. Any contraction or any negative thoughts and feelings slows and squeezes the energy, maybe even to a dim or just a flicker, until you decide to open all the channels within your body again, which means your mind and emotions allowing this thing called energy to take you on a magical carpet ride. This thing that you call maybe energy is really called your precious life. Where there is life, there is energy. Okay. So let me just take a little sip here until we go into the next part of fear of aging. Is the fear of loneliness. I fear that loneliness is like something like boredom. It does not exist until you give energy to this concept and status to make it true. It does not matter whether you are alone or even with a large family or a large amount of friends close by, or whether you live in a remote rural area or in the middle of a very busy metropolitan city. Loneliness is an inner state of emotion and feelings. Let me say that again. Loneliness is an inner state of emotion and feelings. And loneliness is not aloneness. I love to be alone. And in my aloneness, I do not feel lonely. I feel the space, the calm, the peace of being alone. And when I'm alone, I can go within, I can meditate, I can do whatever I want to do, mentally, emotionally, even physically. That doesn't mean I'm lonely, not at all, okay? So I just want to make that distinction between aloneness and loneliness. We are talking about loneliness here. When we get older, we experience often, and it's natural that we experience the loss of family members, of friends, of people we love, and even people we hardly knew but remember at their time of passing. And we said, oh my God, really? How did that happen? And then you remember, yes, we are all getting older. As natural as the fear of loneliness may feel at the thought of losing maybe a friend, your partner, with whom you may have spent so much time and maybe even designed your life around, even there, you have the power to transmute the fear of loneliness into gratitude now and create new ideas for the possibility of being without this person. Sometimes we think we are left behind. We are not left behind. People pass through our lives, and we all come and go. But just like boredom cannot exist in a creative and aware person, so does loneliness really never arise. Both have no meaning when you stay engaged in the magic and unlimited possibilities that life presents to you all the time. Yes, you just have to have some imagination, creativity, and the will to explore. I believe that the best antidote to fear of loneliness is staying engaged with what you love, but what you love to do, what you love to be involved with. Sometimes we are so busy in our earlier and middle-aged years that we have no time to cultivate areas of our deepest desires, of our interests. And very often we forget about those desires because we got so busy that we had to cover them up, to bury them, to put them on the back burner, way back burner. Too many chores and responsibilities may have kept you from examining what you would love to engage with if everything you had would disappear. What would happen if whatever you are accustomed to having would disappear? It would be a catastrophe, maybe, and there would be the gift on the other side of that catastrophe that you may call a catastrophe. But you know, this can happen, and it has happened to so many people. In tornadoes, in hurricanes. I mean, I'm now just talking about the physical aspects of things disappearing, things changing. You can lose your job, you can lose your house, your money, whatever. But we become such victims of habit, locking ourselves into a predictable routine that keeps us from spending quiet time to reflect and contemplate other possibilities, other choices, other outcomes. Then, at some time later, we don't know how to handle the idea of change or of loss. That just reminds me of something that I just heard, and I don't even know where I got it from, but I heard it from somewhere, and I thought it was a brilliant idea. To just, whether it's one day a month or 2 days a month or 3 or a whole week, live like a really poor person. Eat the smallest amount of food, dress I mean, just take all of the comforts away and feel how it feels to be a really poor person. It's a great exercise, I believe. It just came into my mind because I thought this was interesting and I may want to do this. It is true that we often identify with a particular role we played in our earlier years, that we are blinded to what is possible when we step out of the garments or out of that role where we women especially, we play so many roles, we wear so many hats, right? And there comes a time when those roles are changing, they're not appropriate anymore. When your children leave the house, you know, we are always changing, and then new interests, new things come into our lives and others leave. So garner a sense of joyful expectation for the many possibilities that could compete for your loving attention in your later years. Yes, maybe you have too many wonderful things that you could do and you don't know which one you want to do. Isn't that a beautiful problem to have? It does not matter how much money you have or will have, or where you live, or with whom. Loneliness is not caused by the absence of anything. Loneliness is an inner state, and loneliness, therefore, is a choice. That sounds a little hard, right? When you feel lonely, it's your choice. It's tough love. Yes, loneliness is your choice. If you feel like that, you can change it. One of the cousins of loneliness, I call it a cousin, is boredom and resignation, of which boredom can arise casually and not do much harm if short-lived. But resignation is a state of depression. And depression is a state of loneliness. And I'm not talking about if you have a clinical depression. I don't want to say this is your choice. No, but loneliness in itself and having a low state of feeling, not having a feeling to have energy, being bored, that you can change. Boredom has no necessary, it's not necessary at all. And it doesn't have anything to do with the lack of activity. You can be bored out of your mind amongst a group of people because their interests do nothing for you or do nothing to your mind. So mindless yakking and gossiping, which we find so much at larger social gatherings online now, right? That can drive anybody to loneliness amongst a crowd, because then you want to retrieve, then you want to take yourself out of it. Thank God this is usually short-lived and a lesson in the discernment of your time and energy to create better choices. Because if you feel like that amongst your friends or online, whatever, it's time to not go there or to close this site down because it's not for you. It is, if it is family or business and you cannot escape, make a move and take action to change something that in that situation, and look for something that you're really interested in or that you can contribute to. Something, it just needs sometimes, sometimes it just needs one person to change the atmosphere and the energy in a room. Be that person. Yes, become that person if you want to experiment. Or if you cannot leave the party, experiment how it is if you do something or become a person of energy, of interest, and see how it changes not just you, your inner state, but also those around you. The other and more serious cousin of loneliness is resignation, as I already said. As I earlier said, there couldn't be loneliness in a creatively engaged person. Impossible to feel lonely when you're creatively engaged. I also said that all these are states of inner perceptions and beliefs. And as soon as you change your mind about something, the corresponding emotion kicks in to carry the feeling which decides your action. Thought, feeling, action. Yeah? Thought, feeling, action. So to resign, we see what we do here with the time, with our time. To resign to something means that you feel trapped or imprisoned in the situation you give life to by believing that there is no solution. Sadly, this creates a downward spiral that can end in depression. Don't do it. Unless there is a chemical or energetic misfiring in your body, which needs to be attended to by a qualified healthcare professional. Those negative states are against the law of life and against who you are and what you are. You may hear the truth about who and what you are many times. You know, it's all around us now. But I will repeat it wherever and whenever I get prompted by my own internal teacher. I repeat it to me. I am not, when I'm in a negative or bad state, I will tell myself, this is not who I am. This is not me. Because your inner state and inner knowing who you are wise beyond your three-dimensional understanding. Trust what you get. I trust what I get when I go within. So here is a reminder of who and what you are, who and what I am, who and what we are. You are a multi-dimensional, immortal being who was created by choice out of nothing into everything at the very beginning of creation. Let me repeat this. You are a multidimensional, immortal being who was created by choice out of nothing into everything at the very beginning of creation. Your soul and spirit essence will go on forevermore. Even when you step out of this physical body of yours, at the closure of your life cycle, your physical life cycle, and when the purpose of your lifetime is fulfilled. Does this make sense? I believe it does. We will talk more about this in the next episode with the title Fear of Death. So I believe we come to the end of our episode today, and I am so glad that you spent this time with me. If you went through the entire hour, congratulations. If there is something you would like to have more clarity on, please feel free to get in touch with me. And of course, you can always listen to it again because it will be in the archives. And please share it with your friends. Share it with somebody who you believe could profit from it. I thank you so much for your energy, for being with me. And until we see each other again next Saturday, the exact time and exact day, which is Saturday, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So, bye-bye for now.